All right, so today I wanted to talk about a story out of the CBC titled Canada Sheds 63,000 Jobs in December. And it goes on to say Canada's economy lost 63,000 jobs last month, the first time the job market has contracted since the dark days of March and April when you know what was just starting. Statistics Canada reported Friday that the jobless rate came in at 8.6%, a slight uptick from the previous month. It was 5.6% last February before you know what and peaked at 13.7 in May. Economists had been expecting the monthly numbers to be rough since big provinces such as Ontario and Quebec went into strict lockdowns during the month. But the number ended up being almost twice as bad as the 39,000 expected job losses. It was also the first drop since April and a sign that the economic recovery could be running out of steam before the job market has even gotten back to where it was before the pandemic started. So, again, this is exactly what I've been saying for pretty much this whole time now, in that we are going to recover out of this whole situation into a recession. We are going to have recession like job numbers, we are going to have recession like growth. And it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. And I think one of the biggest problems in this whole situation is that we have so many people that have been completely unaffected by this whole situation, these public sector workers, namely, and they're so arrogant and so out of touch with reality that they're completely unwilling to actually look themselves in the mirror and look at reality for once. So I think that that's one of the biggest problems. And the other big problem too is that the people that have caused this problem are not going to end up being held responsible for causing the problem in the first place. Like all these politicians that put people out of work for no reason are not going to face any negative consequences for it whatsoever. That's one of, and this is the thing about this whole situation that bothers me the most is that the people that deserve to suffer the most are the ones that are suffering the least, right? The small business owners and the people who work, wanting to work, uh, have been forced to suffer, and the people that have forced those people to suffer, most of them for no reason whatsoever, not only did they not lose any pay, a lot of them, got increases in pay, right? So the entire system's completely backwards. But anyway, let's read up a little bit more. As of December, Statistics Canada said there were still 636,000 fewer jobs than there were in February, and an additional 448,000 people who are working, but far less than they would normally be because of the ongoing pandemic. So again, those numbers are very clear that what is that? Almost 1.1 million people have either lost their jobs or have not lost the jobs but have lost pay because of this whole situation. So again, when you're thinking about these lockdowns, you have to ask yourself, okay, is what we're doing worth putting, over a half a million people out of work and almost another half a million people giving them a dock and pay? Like, is it really worth that? And again, when you look at that from a logical perspective, the answer is very, very, very clearly no. Um, but anyway, on net, all of the lost jobs in December were in the service sector, while with the food and accommodation sector standing out with 56,700 lost jobs due to so many restaurants being shuttered. With restrictions broadening and lengthening since the December survey, we may well see another pullback in the next month's report, Porter said. But the good news, such as is that shutdown 2 is imposing a much less severe economic cost than in the spring, especially in sectors not directly affected. Economist Brendan Bernard, with a job search website Indeed, said, "Well, the numbers were certainly bleak. They are not the worst case scenario." Again, that's a very out of touch statement, if you ask me. If there's a silver lining in that things could have been worse, he said. Again, like so out of touch with reality, it's not even funny. December's drop was nowhere near the scale of the declines we saw in the last spring, and some of the areas of the economy, like manufacturing and professional services, still achieved solid gains. Nonetheless, it's clear once again the job market can't recover amid a raging pandemic. Again, another thing these quote unquote economists don't seem to be factoring in is that literally pretty much every government is running record deficits, right? When you print massive amounts of money, of course that's going to increase demand in the short run, right? But the problem is that to keep that demand up, you're going to have to keep running those deficits, and that's not sustainable, right? So again, I really don't understand these people's thinking whatsoever. Um, Leah Nord with the Canadian Chamber of Commerce was especially concerned with the fact that the participation rate, the number of working age people who either have a job or want one, fell by zero point 0.2 percentage points to 64.9%. So again, over a third of the population is not working right now, right? We have we have an effective, 35% real unemployment rate right now. Like, isn't that absolutely insane? Like, isn't that absolutely insane? The drop mostly comprised of male youth and working women, likely frustrated by the job search and staying home to take care of a suddenly homebound children, respectively, she said. If the trend continues, that's a bad omen for the job market from here on out, Nord said. As we look forward, we believe that many of the rebound gains from the last 7 months are at the risk of being lost, signaling a potential return to darker times for Canada's labour market over the coming months. Um, anyway, that's basically what the article said. But again, this is what I've been warning about. Like, this is what I've been warning about. Nobody's listening, or at least hardly anyone's listening. And I think one of the most telling things too is that a lot of these jobs are service sector jobs, in the restaurant industry and stuff like that. And those people are not people that are, I mean, the people that are running them maybe, but the vast majority of people that work at restaurants, they're not making a lot of money, right? They're maybe making decent money, but you're by no means rich. So, I think the most telling thing there is that these are working class jobs, right? These are, you know, working class jobs, or college students trying to put themselves through college, or younger people maybe out of college, they can't find a good job, and they resort to doing something like this. So the thing that really astounds me as well is that the left, and I mean most people, they like to claim they care so much about the middle class and the poor, and oh, we care so much about them. But when it comes to this situation, you're perfectly fine with throwing them over the bus, throwing them under the bus, right? So this is just one of the millionth reason why, again, the people that like to claim so much about the middle class and the poor, no, they could care less, right? They only care about it when it can benefit them politically, right? That's the only reason they care about it. So yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up today. But again, like I brought up too, that this is something that's so important for people to realize. I don't know why it's so hard to get this through people's heads. Is that we are not you can't just magically flip the economy on and off. You can't just magically go from a 10% unemployment rate to a 5% unemployment rate. That's not how reality works. And the fact that so many people think that, including a lot of politicians running provinces in the country, that's why we're in so much trouble, because we have so many people that are calling them economically illiterate is an insult to economically illiterate people. It's like literal 4-year-old levels of thinking here. You can't just flip stuff on and off. That's not how reality works. Um, so anyway, that's what I wanted to bring up today. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you check out those links below. Follow me on those other platforms. Again, very important you do that. It's only a matter of time until YouTube bans me. So again, check out those links. If you want to donate, you can do that as well. Again, I would appreciate whatever support I can get. But like I say, at the very least, just hit that like and subscribe, and check out those links below.